These are the 6 best exercises to boost your testosterone. Have you ever stopped to think about why so many men nowadays always seem tired, low on energy, and unmotivated? It's almost as if male vitality is disappearing without people even noticing. What few understand is that this has a lot to do with the drastic drop in testosterone levels over the past few decades. And don't think this decline is just an age-related phenomenon. It's happening earlier and earlier, affecting men who, in theory, should be at their peak physical and mental performance. But why is this happening? Well, we need to look at our modern lifestyle, full of conveniences that keep us sitting for long periods, not even getting up to change the TV channel or close a window. Every year, our routine gets more comfortable, and our body, which was designed to move, is required less and less. The result is a decline in the essential hormones for our virility, including testosterone. However, there are effective ways to reverse this trend, and they largely come down to moving your body the right way. Compound exercises stand out as the most powerful and natural way to stimulate testosterone production because they engage multiple muscle groups at the same time. In this video, we'll show you the 6 best exercises that every man should do if he really wants to see his testosterone levels rise. Exercise number 6, military press. Why is it so impactful? First of all, working the shoulders in a compound manner demands a lot from your core and upper back for stabilization. When you push the weight overhead, your deltoids, trapezius, triceps, and even your abs kick in to maintain proper alignment. This high overall demand on the body signals the endocrine system to release anabolic hormones, including testosterone, to repair and build muscle. How does the military press help boost testosterone? A study published in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research in 2015 showed that exercises that intensely recruit more than one muscle group tend to generate a significant increase in testosterone in the post-workout period. In this study, researchers measured hormone levels in volunteers subjected to pressing exercises like the military press and found an average 15% increase in free testosterone levels within the first 2 hours after training. Although this value later returns to baseline levels, consistency over weeks and months of regular practice leads to more lasting positive adaptations. To perform this movement correctly, stand with your feet shoulder width apart. Position the barbell or dumbbells in front at shoulder height, keeping your palms facing forward. Keep your torso firm, abs engaged, and avoid swinging your body. Push the weight up, fully extending your elbows. Slowly return to the starting position, controlling the descent. Common mistakes to avoid. Overarching your lower back. This can overload your spine. Keep your abs tight and glutes slightly engaged to stabilize. Using leg momentum. In a strict military press, the movement should come from the shoulders and arms. Not aligning the bar. Keep the bar aligned with the center of your head and then with the center of your body on the way down, avoiding excessive forward or backward movement. Exercise number 5, deadlifts. The deadlift is often called the exercise that trains the entire body. And that's no coincidence. When performing the movement, you intensely activate your thighs, especially the hamstrings, lower back, core, and even the upper back and forearms. This level of muscle engagement is extremely beneficial for hormone levels because the body receives an intense shock that stimulates testosterone secretion to repair tissues and become stronger for future sessions. Why does the deadlift make such a difference in testosterone production? According to a study published in Medicine and Science in Sports and Exercise in 2017, the deadlift triggers a more significant acute increase in testosterone and growth hormone release than isolated exercises, like the leg curl machine. In this study, a group of 20 trained men was analyzed and performing heavy deadlifts, meaning 5 reps at 85% of their 1 rep max, increased testosterone levels by about 20% immediately after the session, along with a 14% rise in growth hormone. To execute it correctly, stand with your feet hip-width apart, with the bar on the ground close to your shins. Squat down while keeping your spine neutral, and grip the bar with your hands slightly wider than shoulder width. Engage your abs and glutes, keeping your chest open and shoulders back. Begin the movement by extending your legs and pushing the floor away. Once the bar passes your knees, finish the movement by extending your torso. Lower the bar back down in a controlled manner, always maintaining a neutral spine. Common mistakes to avoid. Rounding the lower back. One of the most dangerous mistakes for the spine. Raising the hips too fast. This turns the movement into more of a back lift than a proper leg-driven lift. Letting the bar drift away from the body. The bar should stay close to your shins and thighs throughout the ascent. Exercise number 4. Bench press. The bench press, whether flat or inclined, is a classic when it comes to chest development, but it goes far beyond that. It engages the pectoralis major, anterior deltoids, triceps, and, when properly stabilized, even the posterior chain to keep the feet firmly on the ground and the torso locked on the bench. This full-body engagement, especially under heavier loads, sends a strong signal to the body that it's time to synthesize more muscle proteins, and for that, testosterone is essential. A study from the European Journal of Applied Physiology, published in 2018, compared the hormonal response of groups training heavy bench press, 4 to 6 repetitions, versus groups training lighter bench press with higher volume, 12 to 15 repetitions. The results showed that those in the heavy training group experienced an approximately 18% increase in free testosterone levels immediately after the workout, while the higher volume but lower load group saw an increase of around 10%. Unfortunately, many people still make basic mistakes when performing the bench press. To execute it correctly, start by lying on the bench with your feet firmly on the floor and your lower back slightly arched. There's no need to exaggerate the arch, but don't let your lower back flatten against the bench. Grip the bar at a width that allows your forearms to stay perpendicular to the floor during the descent. Lower the bar until it lightly touches your chest. Push the bar back up, extending your arms, but without fully locking your elbows. Maintain control on every rep, avoiding jerky movements or overly fast descents. An extra tip to place more emphasis on the chest is to lower the bar as much as possible and only press up partially, since fully extending at the top recruits the triceps more than the chest itself. Common mistakes to avoid. Aligning the bar with the neck. It should touch or come very close to the chest line, not the neck. Flaring the elbows too much. This overloads the shoulders. Try to keep your elbows at around a 45-degree angle relative to your torso. Not stabilizing the torso. A firm base on the bench and feet on the floor help with strength and prevent injuries. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because having the right information is what will make the difference in your long-term progress in the fitness world. Exercise number 3. HIITs. The so-called HIITs, or high-intensity interval training, might seem to stray from the heavy, compound weight training we've been talking about, but the fact is that sprints, short bursts of running, and intense interval protocols can also provide a significant boost to testosterone production. HIIT raises the heart rate to a very high level in short intervals, demanding a strong metabolic and endocrine response. A study conducted by Loughborough University and published in 2019 in the Scandinavian Journal of Medicine and Science in Sports followed 2 groups, one doing continuous running and another doing HIIT workouts based on 30-second sprints with 4-minute active recovery intervals. After 8 weeks, the HIIT group showed an average 13% increase in baseline testosterone, while the continuous running group showed no significant changes. This demonstrates how short but intense stress can be more beneficial hormonally than long-duration cardio. To perform a HIIT workout, simply choose an exercise, usually running or a stationary bike. Do a short burst at maximum intensity, for example, 20 to 30 seconds. Rest or significantly lower the intensity for 1 to 4 minutes, depending on the protocol. Repeat this cycle 6 to 8 times, or as your fitness level allows. Common mistakes to avoid. Not warming up properly. Since HIIT is very intense, the risk of injury without a warm-up is high. Doing intervals that are too long at high intensity. If you go past your limit, you won't maintain the necessary peak effort, and the workout stops being truly interval-based. Ignoring recovery. Keeping the active or passive rest periods long enough is crucial to ensure the next sprint is truly high intensity. Exercise number 2. Pull-ups. If you can't do a free-hanging pull-up yet, relax. Just stick with us until the end of the explanation, and we'll give you a much easier way to start and gradually progress to the full movement as you gain strength and endurance. Pull-ups are often feared by beginners, but that's exactly why they're so effective. They engage the lats, biceps, forearms, abs, and various stabilizing muscles to lift your own body weight. This type of exercise, which requires a high level of relative strength, the ratio between strength and body weight, tends to challenge your body significantly, stimulating adaptations that include increased testosterone production to support hypertrophy and muscle recovery. A study conducted by the Norwegian School of Sport Sciences in 2020 compared the hormonal response of bodyweight exercises like pull-ups and dips to machine-based exercises like the machine bench press and seated row. The group that trained with bodyweight exercises saw an approximately 12% increase in testosterone immediately post-workout, while the machine-based group had only around a 7% increase. The explanation could lie in the greater core stabilization demand and the activation of multiple synergistic muscles. To start, grip the bar with your hands in an overhand grip, palms facing forward, or an underhand grip, with palms facing you, at a width slightly wider than your shoulders. Hang from the bar with your elbows extended and your torso stabilized. Before pulling, retract your shoulder blades to properly engage the lats. Pull yourself up until your chin clears the bar, keeping your body as aligned as possible. Lower yourself in a controlled manner until your elbows are almost fully extended. Common mistakes to avoid: swinging the body excessively. Using momentum takes the focus away from the muscles. Not lowering enough. Doing half reps reduces the range of motion and overall effectiveness. Pushing the chin too far forward over the bar. The ideal technique is to bring your chest toward the bar, avoiding excessive neck projection. Now, as promised, if you can't do a full pull-up yet, the best way to start is by using a resistance band. Secure the band to the bar and place one foot or knee on it, allowing the elasticity to offset part of your body weight. This makes the movement much easier, helping you gradually build strength until you can perform a pull-up without assistance. Exercise number 1, traditional squat. We've reached the number 1 spot on the list, and it couldn't be any different. The squat is simply considered the king of compound exercises for one simple reason. It engages almost every muscle in the body to some degree, especially the legs, core, and even back stabilizers. It's nearly impossible to squat heavy without triggering a massive hormonal response, as your body needs to adapt and enhance protein synthesis, thereby increasing testosterone production. According to a study published in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research in 2016, heavy squats, meaning 80 to 90% of a 1-rep max, can boost testosterone release by up to 25% immediately after a workout session. In this study, 16 trained athletes were divided into 2 protocols, one with 5 sets of heavy squats and another with 5 sets of isolated exercises for quads and glutes, specifically the leg extension and abductor machine. The squat group not only showed greater strength gains over time, but also experienced a significantly higher peak in testosterone compared to the other group. To execute it correctly, start by positioning the bar on your upper back. It should rest on your traps, not your neck. Place your feet shoulder-width apart with your toes slightly pointed outward. Bend your knees and hips, lowering yourself while keeping your spine neutral and chest open. Aim to go down until your thighs are parallel to the floor, or even slightly lower if you have the mobility. Rise by extending your knees and hips, keeping your core engaged the entire time. Common mistakes to avoid: letting your knees cave inward. Keep them aligned with your toes to prevent injuries. Lifting your heels. Always try to keep your entire foot flat on the ground. Leaning your torso too far forward. This increases the load on your lower back. Keep your chest up. These are definitely the 6 essential exercises for anyone looking to naturally boost their testosterone levels. And as you've seen, they all share a common theme. They involve multiple muscle groups. However, when it comes to testosterone, this is just a small part of what you can do to optimize this crucial hormone. If you want to learn more strategies, including tips on nutrition, sleep, and natural supplementation, just click on the video appearing on your screen right now. There you'll find a complete guide covering everything that can naturally boost testosterone. Thanks for watching, and may God bless you, my friend.